Hey, this is another video about how I feel like I'm mastering life and how I feel like I just want to spread it to my future self as well as my children, my offspring, and anybody else. So I'm gonna obviously improve these videos as I go because they are what they are, and gonna keep working on them, moving along. So comment down below and subscribe if you like them. But basically, in this video, I want to talk about how I think that resistance is going to get me to the perfect blend of happiness and resistance. Is like the perfect blend, and this video is gonna be about resistance and how you can incorporate it in your life to get yourself to progress day by day, closer and closer to your vision, which would be that perfect you, that perfect life that you want to live and that you're just like naturally drawn to. I look at every single moment in your life as a stepping stone to bring you to who you are here today. So if you look at your life in the future as who you are going to be at your end of your life when you're 80, 90 years old, what is it that you've mastered? What is that you are so exceeding on that you feel drawn to? So every single individual feels something inside of them that they constantly want to do. And there is something that they feel like they can achieve, but maybe they just don't want to, or think that maybe their environment isn't able to let them do that. So resistance is the number one thing that everybody looks at, and it keeps them from wanting to get to the next step. Resistance is that one thing that everybody looks at that keeps them from getting to that next step. And if you were able to approach that as practice every single time, and you were able to approach that moment as something that you're just going to observe and you're just going to enjoy and you're just going to see how it goes, then it'll be a lot easier to do than it would be if you were like, oh, I got to get this done. I got to make sure that I got to go make sure it's perfect and everything's right. And oh, while I'm doing it, it's difficult, but yet you're still pushing along and trying to do it. That is the moment that is going to be making it easier the next time you do it. So the point is that until you do it, you're not going to be any better at it the next time. So the only way for you to be better at anything in life is for you to actually do it over and over again and almost do it wrong and almost do it bad. Because there is a certain part of the brain that gets developed only when you push yourself to do something you didn't want to do. So when your brain is sitting there going, I don't like this, I don't want to do this, but yet you're continuously pushing yourself to do it and just doing it, your brain actually grows. And that part of the brain grows, and it causes you to actually have almost like less of the reptile brain. So if you look at your brain and you look at the part of it that's like the most centered, the most like basic, I should say, like the most survival would be the best way. You're constantly just in fight or flight. You're constantly in survival mode. You're constantly like maybe even a little irrational and impulsive. That is what I'm going to call the reptile brain. If you want to have the best life, it is best to get out of that brain, because then you're able to think about things and be able to have what I call as 1, 2, 3, the things that you want in your life that you always want, which would be discipline, education, and open-mindedness. If you're able to have all three, you're able to have a perfect freedom, and then with that, you're able to have a perfect life. So in order to get the discipline, to get the education, you have to have resistance. So if you're able to manage the resistance and get yourself resistance in the right categories, you're going to be able to grow your brain and be able to grow your neurological links in your whole system, basically, your hardware. So think about if you're trying to play a game and the computer that you have only has certain graphics and only has this. You're only going to be able to play with that amount of frame rate and that amount of speed. Well, if you wanted to have a higher graphics card and all that, you have to go and install it. Well, in a human being, it's really easy. You just put yourself through resistance. Yeah, it's that easy. If you want to be stronger, You look at people like Arnold Schwarzenegger and you figure out what he did right and what he did wrong, and then you go and research all the people that said that he didn't do this and he did this right and he didn't do that, and then you go, okay, wow, I know how to do it now. And then you just write it out. All right, every day I got to do this, and I got to then wait 96 hours to recover, and then I got to do this exercise, and then I got to wait 96 hours, and so on Monday I'm going to do this, and then 3 days, 4 days later, it's like, and then, okay, well, I'm not up to that part, so now I got to work 5 days a week, and then, whatever a situation it is that you are in, your physical, it's just like that. And physical is almost, to me, is in theory, it's so easy, right? It's so, all I got to do is just go in there and work. It's like all you have to do is just show up. Well, then you realize it's all about how you show up and how you do it and but the idea is like the first part about it sounds really easy. You just got to show up. And if you're able to show up that amount of times, then you're able to do it. And you're able to get the results that you're looking for. However, the better you show up, the more you show up, and all the above, it gives you the results better. So with a vision, whenever you're able to figure it out exactly what it is that your body and your mind and your experiences and all of the things that you like and enjoy, like what's your favorite thing? You're able to then find goals that bring you to that, and those goals will be resistance on you day to day for you to constantly build up your hardware and your neurological links to do what it is that you want to do. And then whenever the opportunity comes, you're going to just not even realize. You're just going to keep boop, 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 boop. You're just going to keep moving along, and you're going to move through it. And then 2 days later, you're going to get the check in the mail, and that's going to be like, wow, I just keep doing this. Like, I didn't even realize that I'm at the point now where it's a success, where it's actually paying the bills. It's actually, getting me down the road. Because ultimately in life, we need to survive. We need all these bills. We need to have all these things. But then we also want all these things. It's like, why do we want? Well, life is just that way. That's what a human being is. So if you're able to put sometimes the resistance into something that you want, or turn what you want into resistance, or, manage the resistance in a way that you're a friend with it, then anything in life is basically like just easy, just simple. And then you're able to balance it. Then you have freedom. You can choose what to have more resistance on and not have more resistance on based on what you feel like you're doing and what you want. Because who else has the ability to restrict you? Life has so many restrictions. So if you're able to educate yourself on the system and understand when and where it is that you have to be worried about, then you have more or less restrictions. So the restriction that you need today is to learn how to read, and then the restriction tomorrow is you need to learn to read, and then the restriction the next day would be to learn what to read, and then the discipline would be to read, and then be reading it regularly, and then the next discipline, and then the next discipline, and then you'd have to keep adding all these disciplines in as you're educating yourself on what disciplines to have, but then also being open-minded so that you don't put on the wrong disciplines, or you put on the right disciplines. Or you don't get stuck in the old discipline. You don't stay too traditional. Because at a certain point, traditional is just religious. And then at a certain point, religious is just ritualistic. And then are you doing the rituals for you? Are you doing the rituals for nature? Are you doing the rituals for like your God, your favorite thing? Are you doing it just because your environment's telling you to do it? So who has the authority over you? That's the key. That's the key, is the restriction. And who has the restriction? Who has the power to restrict me? I have the power to restrict me, because I understand what laws apply to me and what laws don't apply to me. And I'm learning, as I want to step out into new avenues, what laws and what rules I have that would apply to me, and I know what I can play and can't play. And that gives me freedom, because then now I know just naturally what it is I want to do. And then whenever I'm naturally doing what I want to do, then naturally I'm going to succeed, because it's not so difficult. You miss 99% of the shots that you don't take. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So the idea is, like, if you're never shooting baskets, you're never going to make a basket. But if you're always shooting baskets, what's happening? Are you really wearing out or not? So it's up to you. It's your level of resistance. So if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, follow along. I have about 37 more videos to make, and I hope you love them. or like them, and I hope that you tell me that you don't like them or love them down in the comments down below. And thank you. I'm gonna make more. I know this video quality could be a lot better, and it's going to be better, but I'm putting something out today. That's what matters. I'm going to use this as resistance for myself to just constantly put something out. And once I put something out, at least I have something to present. And then I'll get all the resistance back from all the bad comments and, bad for not you didn't do a bad job commenting. I did a bad job and you're bad. Anyways, you know what I mean? Thanks. Have a great night.